So I'll take you to the agendas of today training. I'll give you an introduction of C4C, which is Sales and Service Cloud, right? And then I'll give you the benefit of Sales and Service Cloud, which is now been used extensively in all the industry verticals, right? And why it is being used, that's basic benefits I'll tell you. Implementation approach, right? There are different methodology to implement the solution. Now for the specific to Sales and Service Cloud, right, what is the specific methodology preferred by the customer? I will explain you about that. Then there is an organization structure, campaign management, which is a part of this topic. Just a high level overview I'll give you about the master data, transactional data, and I'll show you one business process flow, which is actually a real time, which you will understand how the process flow works in the C4 environment, right? And then I'll show you the system, C4C system, right? So in which you will understand that how your system look like, right? What is the look and feel of the applications. So coming to the next part, the objective part, after giving this session, right, you will understand about C4C, what exactly the functions of C4C and terminology of C4C, right? And you will also understand what is the prerequisite required for the C4 Service Cloud and Sales Cloud, right? So these three things and as well as benefits you will understand. Now in this screen, if you see, there are three cloud icon created, right? And in this three cloud icon, you can see there is a three different URL. Why I'm saying so different URL? Because when you see this URL https:// right, my 12345 6, the 6-digit number, right, and then another in the second cloud icon you will see 456789, and then the third 789123. So these are three different URL having three different ID. That is the reason it is called as a three different application. So C4C is having three different application. Now why three different application? I'll explain you the strategy behind this. Whenever client in the sense I'm talking about an end client for whom we are going to do an implementation, when they request server to SAP, right? So by default, SAP give a production tenant, that is definitely they are paying for it. And what is the pay structure for the tenant? Tenant in the sense the URL, the cloud URL or the cloud server in SaaS term, we call it as a tenant. Remember, okay? Now this URL is provided by SAP. They give only a production tenant, but apart from production tenant, they also give a test tenant to the customer so that they can use it as a quality server. Okay, and they don't charge for this quality server. They tell that they cover all the prices in the production tenant only. Now they provide this server so that this will be used as a quality server, and then the data or the configuration whichever been done or system setup is done in the test tenant will be later on copied to the production tenant. So this is what the strategy of an SAP. Now coming to the third is permanent test tenant. What is this? Now what happened? It is on demand of a customer. If customer feel like I need to have one more tenant, one more URL, one more server, regression testing or pre-production system, whatever they want to keep it, or as a development system they want to keep, whatever they want to keep, they will plan accordingly. Now the question comes, do SAP charge for this? Yes, SAP charge for this tenant. Why? Because SAP, according to the policies they have, they only provide production and test tenant. If third test tenant, if client goes for this, SAP charge for it. Any questions to this slide?
So
Any questions, guys?
where we do the development.
Correct. Now what is happening? As I told you, test tenant they have given as a quality server, right? Now in this case, client may utilize it as a development server also and production server also. But in test tenant, they can do both development and quality work at a time if client don't have a budget. But if client will have a sufficient budget, they can go and purchase another test tenant, so that one test tenant can be used as a development server, another test tenant will be used as a quality server. So this is how the strategy behind this. Clear?
Oh, I have one question.
Uh-huh.
So if you have, suppose I do a rollout, I want to do for certain countries, but I don't want to do for all countries. Maybe after go live, what how do we do this rollout based scenario?
No, I could not get your question. Can you come again?
Okay, so assume that I have only one server I'm using for both development quality. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so I'm doing some rollout for Asia. I'm doing a rollout for some North America like this. So if I do one server I'm using for Asia now, but after go live, can I continue using same quality test server?
Yes,
For
you
the,
can do. You can do multiple countries rollouts in this quality server.
so that means then you will create a separate project for those countries. So the current one won't
There is a
impact.
functionality called as we call it as an page layout or the screen layouts. Okay. Now what is happening according to the roles and the country, right? Your business role get changed and your screen get changed according to the country requirement. Your entire functionality, if you're building a workflow or whatever it may be, you're building here, they may get changed entirely in terms of currency, currency exchange, in terms of region, whatever you want to add it, it will be done accordingly.
Okay.
But we recommend client to go with three server approach. In case of big rollouts, multiple countries, we tell them to go with three server, so that development will be done in the development server, quality will be done in the quality server. If there is a rollouts in the same production server, they can extend multiple countries. Clear? Hope this answer your question.
Actually, I'm new to this now, so I can understand whatever you are saying. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Okay.
if I get, if I have any questions, I will surely asking you. Okay.
Okay, no, no problem, no problem. Coming to the next topic, there is an this slide which you see, right? You can see the month mentioned here as a February, May, August, November. What does it mean? Now, as C4 application is a cloud-based application. Now, if I'm talking about cloud, what do you mean by cloud, right? First of all, cloud means the server can be logged in from any browser, from any devices, with a security feature wherever you are. That means you can either you have a laptop as a device, you have a desktop as a device, mobile as a device, or iPad, or whichever devices you have, where you can log into the application as an URL which is given, right, with a login security feature like your username, password, which you will be validated. And when you log into the system, you will directly start doing the transaction within the system without any hindrance of connecting via VPN or any third party tool, which normally you see in an organization. Whenever you run any application, right, you require a VPN access for that, which is again an hindrance. Why? Because you need to connect to the company's network. Now, for a SaaS product, it doesn't require any VPN. It will be logged in to any browser. Just you need to have an correct URL, which need to be shooted or placed in any of the browser, either maybe a Chrome or Firefox or your Internet Explorer, right, or Edge, Microsoft Edge, whatever it may be. So you can log in and run the system. So it only have an URL. Now, if I'm talking about cloud, Gmail is a cloud application, you know, right? So you can log into a Gmail with that URL you have, putting user ID and password, and then you can open it any of the devices. So Gmail, your mailboxes are all a cloud application because it saves somewhere in the server, in a drive, or wherever it is. Similarly, the SaaS application, SaaS is software as a service, which is C4C is one of the SaaS application. Now in this SaaS application, it will have an URL, but the database, right, whenever you save the data or do a transaction and all, will be somewhere else. Either it will be hosted in AWS or GCP, or it will be hosted in SAP's own cloud application or cloud platform, where they maintain the security level information or security for this cloud application. Clear about the SaaS product?
Yeah, I
Now,
have a question.
yeah, yeah, please.
So, the license is is what kind of license generally we have? It's a volume base or like how it is, or it is on a subscription base.
Correct. Now, license is on a subscription base. Okay, license will be on the subscription. That is, number of user need to subscribe. Why? Because any SaaS application, they will give a subscription based model, and normally subscription is only applicable for the public cloud SaaS product, because there are two SaaS product. One is called as a private cloud, which is specific to the company, right? And another is a public cloud. So C4C always comes with a public cloud. It doesn't have a private cloud kind of thing. Remember. So that is the reason it is exposed to any of the browser. Hope this answer your question.
Yes.
Now, what is this four dates which mention here? Now, as this is a SaaS product, it upgrades every quarter in a year. That means whenever there is an upgrade happens to the cloud application, right? You see in your WhatsApp, right? Or in your Google updates, it always come, right? Your all the apps need to be updated regularly, right? It gives you a prompt notification that this app update is pending. Now you start updating via Play Store. Similarly, C4C, as it is a SaaS product, cloud application, it always have an upgrade with a new functionality. First is new functionality, second is a bug fixes or hot fixes, and if there is some enablement or some issues came, right, or bug come, that will be sorted during the upgrade. So these are the things which, and also SAP introduced the new features or new functionalities in an upgrade as well. Now, after an upgrade, the version of the SaaS product or C4C Sales or Service Cloud change. Now, if version, how the version changes? Now, it takes last two digit of the year and two digit of a month. That is what the version of the C4 application. Now, how will you come to know? Now, for example, this is 23, which is running 2023. Now, 23 would be the last two digit. And if this is the month which is going on is September, that means the last upgrade might have happened in the month of August. So that means the version would be 2308. If it happens in the month of Feb, then it will be 2302, followed by May 2305, followed by November 2311. This is how the versioning happens for a cloud application. Last two digit of a year and two digit of a month. Remember, after before every upgrade, if the SAP add new features, they email the new features to the customer that these are the things which we are going to introduce, right? If you have any objections, do let me know. If not, we will upgrade by default to all the application public cloud, because if I'm talking about public cloud, that means the URL is shared in one shared box. That means one system will have multiple URLs. So it will upgrade at the system level. Okay, the upgrade happened at a system level. That means all the systems, like URL of my company and URL of another third party company or URL of any other company is hosted in your company premise, right? So, or in the system, what we say. Now, if it is hosted in one system and that system lies somewhere in a geography, right? So, if the upgrade happens to that system, that means it upgrade automatically the tenant which is associated with that system. That means I will give you a clear, easy explanation. Like for example, in a mobile phone, right? If I'm going to upgrade WhatsApp, it upgrade all the names and all the feature of WhatsApp at a time. Similarly, if we upgrade updates in the Play Store, it updates all the application which are not yet updated. By default, it will update. Plus, we also have a controlling feature that we can control that update. The application which we want to update, that we can update and rest leave. Same thing is happening with C4C. By default, SAP will upgrade all the tenant, but if you face in any of the tenant there is a challenge or issues, SAP will first sort your issues, then only they will go for an upgrade in case of public cloud. So this is what the versioning happens, and this is how the release happens every quarter in a year. So version get
So,
changed every quarter. Yeah.
so here, before SAP, because this is public cloud, so so all customers, this update is all customers is affected. If some customers say no, but still SAP will go ahead, right?
For a public cloud, if it is not impacting the production system and the business is not going to stop, then SAP will upgrade.
Does
If
SAP
the
give
business can stop, SAP want a justification, use cases and all to stop the upgrade for that particular application.
application or tenant?
Tenant, sorry.
Okay. So then, in that case, like, does SAP give some beta version to test this new upgrade in the test or quality box what you said, or it's
No, no, no.
nothing?
Existing test only we need to run one round of sanity test, okay, after an upgrade, and check if there is any issues in after an upgrade.
Okay, but there's nothing we can check and then confirm that okay. But
So
when
that
you
is
said
what SAP says, right? We can check our internally. See, normally what happens, the standard functionality don't get impacted. Okay, the functionality which get impacted may be the dependent objects. Now, for example, I'm upgrading sales order part, but the dependent object to sales order is customer as well, right? So it will impact customer if I upgrade that. That means customer will also get upgraded automatically.
any real example in your project where you up
See,
because
normally in my project so far, there is no such issue came after an upgrade. Yes, in long back, there was one of the issue where the page layout was not functioning properly. And when we find out deep dive and then we found out that there was a role which was created and the rule was given to that role was not the correct one. That is the reason it was getting impacted, which SAP only provided the solution. That was actually impacted. SAP definitely don't say yes, but they later on agreed that it was impacted because of the upgrade.
okay,
That
so
is
when
only
you
one case which I remember.
okay.
Going to the this and the next slide, this is what I was talking about, right? In a public cloud, this is called as a system, and multiple this Sunshine Heating, Sunshine Limited, Sparky Supplies, Akron Heating, these are all URLs or an different C4C servers. So this all these three servers are there in one system of three different company, is called as a public cloud or public cloud. And license are all subscription based, and this is called as a data center where all the data gets saved. Clear? Now, after this private cloud, you see, if one system is only having one tenant, no more sharing of a tenant, then it is called as a private cloud. Now, when C4C have a private cloud, in case customer want that this particular application or the support or security or whatever the you are taking, it should all belongs to the company. That means company is entitled to take all the issues or problems to be solved by their team rather than reaching out to the partners. So that is the reason they purchase private cloud. Plus private cloud purchase for the client is one more thing, that their industry or business line is very volatile. Volatile in the sense there are multiple vendors to it. They may progress fast or whatever it may be the reason, X number of what. So the data is very secured for them and it should not be exposed to the public cloud. That is what main agenda for the company who want to purchase private cloud. The only reason is the data should be very protective, right? Now,
So here,
Yeah.
here, then those admin activities done by C4C functional, we have separate administrator.
For the system and this
Yes.
your data this right.
Yeah. Oh,
Ha,
yeah. How
so
do we initiate this? Like,
this is
for
done by
example,
SAP, purely done by an SAP. There is no work to be done from our side
so
except the
the
setup
first
or the configuration setup. Yeah.
okay. So the first step is you buy the license. The customer will buy the license, right? So at what point C4C consultant come into picture?
Buy the license of what?
Yeah,
Public
okay.
cloud.
So customer, yes, a customer buy the license for the cloud, right? Is it by this time does C4's consultant also will be there in the project, or customer makes a decision?
No.
Who makes the
What is happening? What happened whenever customer request for a license, right? There is a setup called service control center where people or the customer give their name and email ID as a primary contact. That primary contact is also maintained in C4C. Okay. So any issues or anything, that primary contact will be reached out. Now the
okay?
point is done actually in the real time.
I mean, like when we okay, suppose I join a new project, so by the
Hmm.
time it will be there in the landscape, or we initiate all these activities. Okay,
No, see, normally what happens, it will be there when I start your session. You will come to know that when the fresh tenant comes, right, what are the functionality or what are the things you will get, right, and how you can set up that tenant, right. That is an work of a senior consultant or solution architect, right. So how to design the system, so that you will come to know later. So initially, only remember whenever system comes, you will get only 3 work centers, right? And after that 3 work centers, you can enhance that work center to 11 or 12 as per the business requirement. But in that 3 work center, how do you create 11 work center? That is what I am going to teach you in the next class. Clear?
yes, yes, clear.
Great. Now the benefits you can see, right? The key benefit of C4C is expenditure and operation maintenance. So its expenditure cost is very less. Why? Because we purchase subscription based model, which is very minimal, right. Also the security features and backups and everything will be managed by SAP. So why should company invest in expenditure cost and operation maintenance? Now if I'm talking about expenditure cost and operation maintenance, that means I'm talking about, like, you have a server in the company, right, and that server is managed by, will be managed by networking people as well as basis people, and that too 24/7, right, because you require a backup every 24/7 globally if it is running. So you need to have people around it to take that backup. So all these things cost to the company, right. Now key benefit is here that it maintain all the operation and the expenditure cost and give you the best probable solution. Now you can take the license as per, and it can be increased on demand. What does it mean? Like for example, company purchased 20 licenses for first quarter. Now within the 20 license, they are provided to the consultant so that consultant can utilize it or for preparation or whatever it means. But during implementation, if I purchase 100 license if I required, and before go live till go live, we are paying for all 100 licenses. So which again hit cost hit for the company, right. So in that case, what we do, we take a subscription based model as and when required. That means initially we'll ask for 5 license, gradually after 2 months we'll ask for 10, and then after 3 months I will, or 4 months I will ask for 100 licenses or beyond that.
So this
Clear?
this license means like for per user.
Per user.
Okay, but we'll have one tenant. It is one, but you will have multiple users log in with the same tenant.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then but then this license is based on subscription, based on user subscription.
Yeah, it is a user subscription, but after subscribing you will get an admin right as well.
Okay.
Now the next slide I'm going with the methodology which I told, right, C4C, which methodology is preferred. You can see that there is a methodology called as an activate methodology. This is very important to implement any cloud application. and it is hybrid agile methodology. It is another name of this methodology is called as a hybrid agile methodology. That means in this methodology, in the prepare phase, we have explore phase, realize and deploy phase, four different phases, right? And each phase is segregated by their own requirement, which is taken from a client, right? So prepare phase will prepare the enablement, explore phase will find an approval process, determine the configuration value, whatever it may be, right? And then followed by realize and the deploy. And this can be maintained, this activate methodology can be maintained, can be maintained, I'm saying, should be worked for all other projects. Okay, because it is hybrid agile, mostly accepted by other countries, gradually going to be accepted by Canada, but rest all countries have accepted.
So what is this? Is this something you have to put in the system, some solution, or it is just a
No, it is a
terminology like it's
process. It is a process how you are going to implement greenfield or brownfield project. If I am talking about greenfield, that means there is no development done so far within the object. Clear? So this is
okay?
what prepare phase, explore phase, realize phase constitute of testing as well, right? And the deploy phase, that means moving to the production.
So, but generally there are in this activate methodology we have 6 phases, right? So one is even discover and last is run process. I don't see that. So we only have four, or totally is only four
Only
use
four.
for use for C.
For activate, there is only four. Prepare, explore, realize, deploy. There is another called as a run, which is nothing but hypercare.
Okay. And before
RUN.
prepare discover, so there's nothing like discover phase, nothing.
No, for that when you have an agile methodology where we do as a discovery phase, right? And then there is an explore phase. So you can put it prepare as a discovery. You can give a nomenclature that as well. Not an issue. So explore or realize phase means you need to do a configuration within the system and also do the sprint planning, that how many sprint required to complete those entire configuration. Clear? This is what one of the diagram of a sales cloud. What are the functionality covered in the sales cloud? You can see account management, individual customer, employees, partner, phone, email, SMS, web, chat, social media, activity lead, opportunity quotation, order, routing, workflow, approval, target planning, forecast. So these are all part of this application.
I mean, in the C4C, you also do. I mean, this is integrated with this marketing commerce, or C4C, it's all are included.
Yes, it is integrated with SAP marketing and SAP commerce. Clear?
So, what is this sales? What is the difference between top above sales and below sales?
So below is not a sales, right? It is all third party application. Only above are sales.
The green ones.
No, the green, the yellow one, orange one is all comes under sales. Activity is it all object related task. Clear?
Yes.
If you have any questions, Anil, you can ask me. Not a problem. Now this
Now,
is what high. Yeah.
for the
Sorry.
activity, I mean, these terminal all coming from CRM looks like.
Yes. Yes. Normally CRM or any other application, SAP application have this terminology. Now these are all the functionality, like we have C4C marketing cloud where you can see these functionality will be given in that. We have small call center with CTI integration. It will give this information, lead creation, escalation, appointment. Then sales executive pre-sales, you have appointment notification, lead management, opportunity, task, visit. These things you can see. Sales executive after sales, proposal sales phase, follow up with allotment process, sales phase, and then relationship executive, and then the broker. These are the functionality which is there in the bucket of marketing, call center, pre-sales, and after sales. Clear? Then coming to the organizational structure, it is very similar to your SAP SD. If you know that, that you will have a company code, then you will have a plant, and then you will have a sales organization, and then each sales organization will associate it with sales offices, and each sales offices will have two kind of sales. One is direct sales, another is only direct sales. Sorry, there is no other choice. Now this is what overview that First, your campaign going to launch, then marketing team plan campaign and the cost. Campaign cost is maintained accordingly, and then it is sales to the sales head and marketing for approval, and then teams start working on the plan and cost and execution of campaign. Now, I would just want to show you the system, how system looks like. I don't want to make you bored. This is how the login. This is, you can see, this is an edge. I have logged in with an URL and automatically this user ID and password been asked. I placed my user ID and password. Right now, this is what URL based application. This is SaaS based application. This is what C4C application. Left hand side is also called as a work centers. These are system links. Now here you can see this left hand side is work center. These are system links, and you can increase the space also by clicking on these three. Now configuration data, you know C4C has account master, contact master, right? You have product master as well. So all the master data, right, is very important to be upgraded and to be maintained, right? So these are all configuration data, and I've shown you the screen of C4C. You can see the C4C screen again, once again, right? And then the next topic is the to be process or the process flow, which I told you, right? That there is a call center where your process will run, CTI calling will happen, and after calling there will be a campaign creation. From campaign there is a prospect created, and then followed by lead, assignment of lead to manager, executive follow-ups, and then there will be a site visit plan where you need to show the demo. So this is what another slide talks about, the integration of C4C. C4C has so many integration with other third-party application, and all integration are standard. So this is another important feature, and there are many more which we can do via a third-party middleware application or C4 SAP middleware application called as a CPI, Cloud Platform Integrator. And these are some dashboards which are picked from the C4C application. It is very strong in dashboards and report creation as well. So you can see the data which will fetch, how the result is being shown. So any questions so far? This is all about the training. Sorry,
So,
demo for today's session. Yeah,
okay, I have some general questions.
yeah, please.
So how do you so we in the classroom do you see scenario where we connect C4C with S4 on premise?
No. Why? Because C4C application is a standalone application, right? You don't have a server as well to integrate with it because it requires a license as well, right? So for a demo purpose, it should always be a standalone. But for an integration part, right, where I'll tell you the steps and the requirement prerequisite. On basis of that, you can do the integration. But for integration also you require third party, or sorry, separate consultant or whoever, uh, right, can do your help.
Okay, but what is integrated for what purpose it get integrated with S4 on premise?
So normally what happened, C4 need to be synchronized with whatever the matching functionality of S4, like customer master and product master, right? It is there in both the application. So whenever we create an order or price and then we are giving that, it is coming through that only.
Okay, okay, okay. So that and like how many scenarios we cover in this training? Do you have any number
See,
of
we
scenarios?
can see all the real time scenarios. See, I'm running couple of projects, right? So I'll give you an scenarios of that project. Plus, if you people have worked in that, you can correlate or can share the process, and then we'll try to map it to the system.
Okay, so in which industry right now you're implementing C4C? Like for what
See, I've implemented for retail. I've implemented for a consumer good. I've implemented for real estate. I've implemented for insurance company. I've
mm,
implemented for gypsum, right? Gypsum
mm,
companies and
mm.
ceramic companies, right? And I've also implemented for pharma and automobile.
Take
So
your time. So
no problem. Just if you can see my screen, this is a place where you can see how many licenses are there. and this is the contact detail. You can see the contact detail of a
So
person.
we will also, when we join for training, you will give the same server.
Not
Do
this.
we give
This is a
that?
client server. This is a client
Uh-huh.
one. You will get this one, a separate server.
Which server is that? So that is also same
This,
like this.
it's the same server, but it is a demo one, and
This
this
is.
is a client one because you can see the logo of a client, right?
Oh. And are you based where in India, or like where are you based? Suppose we want
No, no,
to
I'm
take
based in
the.
India. Currently in India.
How do we do, like how do we do these workshops and all those things? If I get a project and someone says, okay, let's do a workshop, what we do then? Like, is this something you help at that time, or?
See, that time what you need to do now, you need to prepare all the functionality a deck, right? Each
Hmm.
and every functionality and the screenshots and deck need to be prepared, and
Hmm.
agenda to be defined, that what are you going to cover in that particular workshop, right?
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
present that slide and take the requirement of the field level information at the same time.
Okay, like this all you will tell in the course, right? Like, okay, what we do, how do we collect this
Yeah,
information, who to
uh,
ask.
yes. Question need to be raised by from you.